Hello guys, this is Professor TK the Chemist, and I'm going to do a quick report on e-cigarettes because a man shy of his 25th birthday was killed. So are they any better than actual tobacco-based ones? So I'm going to show you, not the picture, of course, of him having this e-cigarette blow up in his face, but I'm going to show you a quick video of what happened.
He had a future ahead of him, a life ahead of him.
Alice Brown raised her grandson, William Eric Brown, as if he were her son. This week she will be burying him. The Tarrant County Medical Examiner says the 24-year-old died January 29th from a stroke caused by a severed artery from a vaporizer pen explosion.
That went across his lip, apparently, somehow, and cut his lip.
The explosion happened in the parking lot of a vape shop near Beach and Golden Triangle in Fort Worth Sunday, January 27th. The shop tells us Brown didn't buy anything, but he wanted help using a mechanical mod-style vape pen, a brand it doesn't sell because it's been known to have issues. The shop manager says he called 911 when he saw Eric in trouble in the parking lot.
That three-piece thing went into his throat and stayed there. And that's what they should have taken out as soon as he got to the hospital. And they decided to wait till Monday or Tuesday.
Brown was taken to JPS in Fort Worth. His family says doctors knew he had a piece of e-cigarette lodged in his throat but was never operated on. JPS says it can't discuss specifics due to privacy laws, but added, quote, "We hold ourselves to the highest standards in providing high-quality health care and will take family concerns seriously as we review all that transpired."
Murder. Just not quite 25 years old, and he should have had a long life ahead of him. He should have made it if they had done the surgery.
Brown's grandmother says she's not interested in suing because it won't bring her boy back. Marianne Martinez, CBS 11 News.
So you just heard this sad report from the grandmother of William Brown, who indicated that he had a piece of this e-cigarette lodged in his throat. So this Texas man died of a massive stroke, and from some of the articles that I've read on him, this was his first time taking it. That's so sad. Just a few weeks shy of his 25th birthday, and this thing exploded and tore into his carotid artery. And so the death certificate says that he died from cerebral infarction and herniation after debris from the exploding vape pen dissected his left carotid artery. And this happened in the parking lot of a store that sells vape products. But the owner of the store said he didn't purchase this from him. He just came in to ask him, how do you use it? And because he didn't sell that brand, he couldn't really explain it. But again, as a professor, I wanted to go a little bit into how this happened so you all can see where the issues lie. The carotid arteries are major blood vessels in the neck that supply blood to the brain, the neck, and the face. So the fact that it was lodged in his throat, as the grandmother discussed, shows you the problems with that. Okay, and you can see how those arteries are very thin. Very, very thin. The internal carotid artery supplies blood to the brain. The external carotid artery supplies blood to the face and the neck. So you're probably saying, well, what is an e-cigarette? Like, what's all the play about it? I remember a couple of years ago when these e-cigarettes came out on the market, they were in the mall selling them, and they were making them look so fashionable. Of course, the mall is the popular hangout spot where all the kids go. And so you have a lot of children who are enticed to want to buy them, but you have to be a certain age to buy them as well. But if you're doing black market stuff and you're getting it on the internet, hey, there is no age checking. And that's the sad part. That is the sad part. So you have these issues where these kids are getting vapes and they're making it very popular. Every semester I have my students do research on different topics and different things that are happening in the field, particularly with the medical field, because I deal with pre-nursing students. So I have them go and do research on a lot of these different topics, and e-cigarettes is one of them. E-cigarettes and vape pens are battery operated. So that's another issue. If some of these vape pens have lithium batteries in them, that can potentially cause a lot of problems and a lot of issues. What this thing is a battery operated device that heats a liquid and to create an aerosol, basically like this gas, like a liquid gas that can be inhaled like regular cigarette smoke. The liquid usually contains nicotine and can have flavoring. So again, when you talk about the flavors, you know, kids are very prone to things that taste a certain way. I went onto the CDC's website and got this picture off here, so you can kind of see some of the ways in which tobacco is kind of delivered in this liquid form. But you also have other drugs, and you also have marijuana. So they can come in like a pipe, an e-pipe, an e-cigar, a large-sized tank device, a medium-sized one. And then you have the rechargeable e-cigarettes, and then, of course, the disposable e-cigarettes. Now, the question is, are e-cigarettes the same as tobacco type? Well, according to some of the research out there, these electronic cigarettes are also known as e-cigarettes, e-vapes, electronic nicotine delivery systems. Like they have so many different nicknames. But which typically they're containing nicotine, though not always. And of course you have flavorings and other chemicals. I saw about a year and a half ago, this guy was on the internet showing you how he makes his own vape liquid. And it's very popular. You can order nicotine online. That's what's sad, guys. You can get a lot of these products on the black market, okay? Some of these things are coming out of the country. Ugh. And these kids are just taking it, not realizing the hazards behind it. They can resemble traditional tobacco cigarettes and cigars and pipes, or even everyday items like pens or USB memory sticks. That's crazy. Are they harmful though? Well, of course. E-cigarette aerosol generally contains fewer toxic chemicals than the deadly mix of 7,000 chemicals in smoke from regular cigarettes. However, e-cigarette aerosol is not harmless. It can contain harmful and potentially harmful substances, including nicotine, heavy metals like lead, volatile organic compounds, and cancer-causing agents. So you're probably saying, well, what is an e-cigarette aerosol? It's basically when users breathe from the device and exhale can contain harmful and potential harmful substances. Things like these compounds that you see on your screen. These are cancer-causing chemicals, heavy metals like nickel and tin and lead. And remember, go check out one of my other videos when I showed you guys some of these heavy metals are also found in the apple juice, fruit juice, baby food. Shall I continue? And then you have flavorings such as diacetyl, which is a chemical that's linked to serious lung disease. They often refer to as popcorn disease, popcorn lung disease. Now, some of the common names, as I already mentioned to you before, are e-cigs, e-hookahs, hookah pens, vapes, vape pens, mods. I mean, they have all these names for them to entice the kids. But why are they so popular? A lot of kids tend to take them because they figure, well, it's better than smoking a cigarette, but not quite. That's the sad part, not quite. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the other potential hazards. Let's go to the doctor's show, and they talk about why it's so popular among kids.
Just as we were able to get a generation to cut back on smoking, e-cigarette use among teens tripled last year. Joining us to discuss the potential health consequences is Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, the Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer.
Hi there. Hi there. This is such a timely and important topic. You know, last year there were more teens who used e-cigs than regular cigarettes. Now, I want to put a number to that because it's really important. We're talking about 2 million high schoolers and about 500,000 middle schoolers. E-cigs are designed to actually look and feel like real cigarettes. And this is how they work. There's a battery, so there are no matches or lighters or anything, that actually heat up an atomizer. That atomizer goes on to vaporize a nicotine-infused liquid that sits over in that cartridge. It vaporizes, and that vapor is inhaled, and that goes on to go to the brain by way of the bloodstream.
There are other devices used to vape. You'll see vape pens, vape mods. These resemble fountain pens or small flashlights. The difference between, say, a vape pen, it actually allows the user to put in the desired amount of nicotine or flavorings. They can also adjust the vapor concentration. Now, that, of course, can bring some unique challenges because nicotine itself can be toxic. There has been a rash of nicotine poisonings as a result of young people. They'll actually ingest those liquid capsules from the devices. Now, I'd like to introduce someone, Delia, a 16-year-old high school student who first experimented with vaping last year. She's here today with her mom, Grace. And Delia, why was it that you decided, you know what, I'm going to try vaping?
I was curious. I saw my friends doing it. They all had vape pens. So I wanted to know how it felt. I ended up trying it my first time without nicotine, and it was cool.
Now, they allow you to vape at school?
No, they don't. But their size and how they look makes it really easy for them to be like they can hide them. So I even wanted one. So I ended up asking my mom for one, but I would have to be 18.
So Grace, as a mother, I have to ask, what was your reaction when Delia said, Mom, I want a vape pen?
No, absolutely no.
I also understand, Grace, that you asked her to educate herself about the dangers of smoking, which was also a really good move. Now, there's a lot of information that's available about the dangers of smoking, but not a lot of information that's yet available about the potential risks of vaping or using e-cigarettes because it's new. Now, the medical and research community has become involved. For example, the American Medical Association is trying to get the age required to buy these from 18 to 21, and more research is coming out. So there's a recent study that found that in ninth graders who used e-cigs, they were 4 times more likely to go on to use cigarettes, cigars, and hookahs. A study that came out earlier this year looked at whether or not the actual devices might cause the production of toxic substances. And it was found that, yes, there were some. Now, we weren't sure of how those devices delivering this vapor to the respiratory system would actually act, but some of these substances have been found to cause cancer risk under other circumstances.
There's a lot left to learn, and everyone needs to remember adolescence, it's a truly critical time when you're talking about brain development. Nicotine exposure can lead to lasting harm to the brain, promote addiction, and even lead to sustained tobacco use. The other thing people need to realize is that nicotine, the larger the dose, the greater the effect on things like blood pressure and heart rate. Too much nicotine can lead to serious medical problems and conditions, including heart disease, really rapid heart rate. These are things that a lot of youngsters don't quite realize.
What we really want is for you to know how important it is for you to be informed when you're making decisions about doing something or using something that has potential health risks. It's important every time to not just learn, but to keep abreast of new things that come out on these new activities that you're thinking about doing. And of course, information being key, you can always go to Get Healthy, Stay Healthy.
So let this just be a warning that we should watch out for young people. And, not to try things just because it seems good, looks good, feels good, because chances are what you see is not what you get. My heart goes out to this family, and I just hope that maybe his story could be a cautionary tale for my young people to stay away from those e-cigarettes. Peace.
Thanks so much for being with us,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Friedel. Thank you as well.